My name is Daryl, and my show's called Snake Encounters because you're all about to encounter a whole bunch of snakes.
In this series, we explore whether a lifestyle show can improve your life in a meaningful way.
Let's get the first question out of the way first. How many people here do not like snakes? The only good snake's a dead snake. Daddy, go get the shovel. Wait a minute, keep your hands up. I need to see my targets.
Usually by the end of the show, I've lost a significant chunk of the front row, but they just move further back. I've gotten little old ladies over the fear of snakes. A phobia is a Christmas present you haven't opened yet. There's nothing more empowering than facing down and overcoming phobia. Nothing more empowering than facing down and overcoming phobia.
So stick with me. We're going to start small. We're going to start with the first question everybody always asks me, which is, of course, did you bring anything poisonous? I said I would start with that question. I did not say I would answer it yet.
People are choking back their coffee, sitting in their cubicle at the moment, just looking for the escape routes. We're not going to see any snakes today, are we?
Well, why not? In the spotted bag, I have, from Australia, the spotted piper.
Oh, wow.
Isn't she gorgeous? Mm-hmm. And she's a total sweetheart. Aren't you,
Mm-hmm. By the way, hold that thought. One of the ways that you can tell that somebody's into snakes, he'll have a lot more pillowcases than he has pillows. You know, what kind of Mickey Mouse operation is this anyway?
And her fun thing is this. Quite a conversation starter at the dog park.
There was a cobra loose under a building near downtown Dallas. And there was an idiot, an expert, that they sent under the building to go after it.
It started when I was a kid. Of course, as a little kid, I was into dinosaurs, but there were very few to be found. And I found a little speckled king snake when I was 7 in my great-grandmother's backyard. And it started a lifelong thing because it was a gorgeous little animal, and it was gentle and beautiful. And when I put my hand in front of it, it crawled up onto it. When I picked up my hand, he wrapped around my finger. And in a few minutes, he'd wrapped around my heart. But a couple of hours later, I killed him.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know. I was 7 years old. I didn't know. You put him in the jar with the holes in the top to keep him safe in the car while you visit your aunt in the car in the summertime in Jackson, Mississippi. You know better than this, right? And I was so mortified that I had killed this poor creature that the first place I had to go when I got back to Texas was the library. I wanted to read every book I could get my hands on about snakes. I had grown-ups reading me books I could not read yet because I not only wanted to never kill another snake, I wanted to stop everybody else from killing them. I've been making it up to that one snake my whole life.
Well, usually when a grown-up is afraid of snakes, they don't remember when it happened. Especially, a little girl has always got Superman in her life. Somebody is Superman to her. You know what I mean? He's not afraid of anything. And Superman sees a snake and freaks. Now you got the scariest thing in the world. Something just scared Superman. And then all you got to do is watch anything Hollywood does about snakes, and now you've got an irrational fear. Perfectly understandable. But it's like any other fear that you're taught instead of born with. You stare it down in a controlled environment, it melts like ice on a warm day.
There are 4 kinds of venomous snakes in Texas. Does anybody here think that includes cobras? No, there's no cobras in Texas.
What do you hope the audiences of all ages will get out of your show? And what do they get out of it?
Well, I'm obviously trying to get people to stop killing snakes. But I'm really not just trying to save the snake, I'm trying to save the world. 80% of the wildlife is gone in the last 100 years. That's not sustainable. If we don't save the other 20%, we're toast.
By the way, did you know that there's no such thing as a poisonous snake? The snake I'm about to show you, if he's venomous, I'm in trouble if he bites me. If he's poisonous, I'm in trouble if I bite him.
I get people to stop killing wildlife, starting with the stuff they kill because they don't understand. No venomous snake wants to bite you. The venom isn't meant for you. It's not even meant for self-defense. They only use it in self-defense when something tries to kill them, like some crazy human with a shovel. 8 out of 10 people who are bitten by venomous snakes were trying to kill the snake at a time. And the other 2 had just said, hold my beer and watch this.
What's a good life to you, and have you lived one?
Oh yeah, well, a good life is where you actually do what you love and you make a difference. And I got both of those in this, you know. I'll admit it's getting harder to do what I do. You see them in a, you know, sitting in this thing. But my biggest snake, he keeps getting bigger and stronger while I keep getting older and weaker, so.
Now, normally the most nervous face is down here with me at the eating end. However, Sophie, if that end begins to gurgle, please don't point it toward anyone. Uh-huh.
Do you believe in magic? And
Well,
what is
yes.
magic to you?
Yes, yeah, there's 2 ways to answer that question. Performance magic is, of course, illusion. The effect is illusion, but the wonder is real. But there is real magic, the kind that ends with a GK, right? And basically it's just science we don't know yet, usually exacerbated by science we don't yet know we've got wrong.
What about the healing aspects of what you do as well?
Well, you know, the snake is a symbol of healing. Healing, energy work works. I've got a vast background on that. In fact, it's funny because those 2 things more or less correlate in terms of when I started them.
Daryl explains how he learnt about alphabiotics, a process focused on unification of the hemispheres of the brain.
It was many years later, after I learned Reiki, that I discovered there was a way to foster the effect without the move. And so I call my technique 0-point integration. I reintegrate the left and right hemispheres of the brain, but without actual physical moves.
Mate, to be honest, I'm not sure what to make of all that that you just said. Like, I want to believe it all, but I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know. And the funny thing is, it's incredibly demonstrable. It sounds like something I'm just asking you to believe in, but it's very demonstrable. I mean, the kinesiology doesn't lie. We're made of organic energy. That's what we are. Reiki is just the art of channeling qi, which is, you know, life force. The Chinese call it qi. The art of channeling qi through your head and out of your hands without depleting your own energy. That's all it is.
Daryl offered to give me a look and feel of his technique, and while I had some trepidation, I cautiously said yes. I've been lucky not to suffer from chronic pain, but many people do and report that these kinds of techniques help them. However, as with anything, you must do your own research and seek help from a licensed and trained medical professional.
All right, the things I do, mate. Thank you for that, I think.
How many people right now at the beginning of the show, the only good snake was a dead snake? Daddy, go get the shovel. And yesterday, if you had a shovel in your hand and a snake in front of you, you'd have killed it, but tomorrow you won't. How many hands do I get? Look around the room. That's why I do this. Give yourselves a big round of applause. I applaud you.
Daryl's message of don't kill what you don't understand is a powerful one, given not only the worsening ecological crisis, but also the perpetuated divisiveness, particularly in this country. Daryl encouraged us to face our fears. I'm aware of the work of psychologist Albert Bandura involving snake phobias and the concepts of guided mastery and self-efficacy in building a generalized confidence to tackle life and the planet's biggest issues. I wondered what unexpected positive effects watching this show and the linked full video of Daryl's performance might have on you, and how that might ripple through your life, work and circle of influence. What I wasn't expecting is to get outside my own comfort zone. Not about snakes, but about this field of energy healing that I claim to understand, but remain curiously skeptical about. That prompted me to examine my own fears of failure and not being good enough. You can try and hide from those fears, or meet and overcome them on the road. I wondered where my journey would take me next and what I'd find there.
Why are there so many folks who hate reptiles? Things that can crawl, slink, and climb. Don't they love nature? Can't they just see that? It's all the big circle of life. What's so distasteful about part of the food chain when all of it was meant to be? So one day they'll find it, the reptile connection, the crawlers, the squeezers, and me.